Welcome in RBC Online. I am Dattatreya Raut. Today I have to deliver the polynucleotide chain, the DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid part 2nd. Now in the previous video I have to talk about the structure of polynucleotide chain, the chemical compositions of the DNA. In the chemical composition of the DNA, DNA is the deoxyribose nucleic acid, which is the made up of the number of the nucleotide chains which are the form the polynucleotide chains, and these polynucleotide chains is the long length of the DNA. The chemical composition of the DNA is the have three main components. These are the known as the sugar molecules and phosphate groups and nitrogen bases. Today the structure of the polynucleotide chain is the blueprint of life. So in the polynucleotide chain that will be discussed into the last video, the structure and the chemical composition of the DNA. Today we have to discuss about the RNA and the further regards to the polynucleotide chain, structure of the polynucleotide chain. In RNA, just you know that the types of the nucleic acid. Nuclein, which is the firstly invented by the that scientist, that will be given a nuclein on the basis of their acidic properties, that will be gives the name nucleic acid. So in the nucleic acid, which are the two type of the nucleic acid are the found in the DNA, that is the deoxyribose nucleic acid in the DNA and ribose nucleic acid in the RNA. So in RNA, ribose nucleic acid, which is the in every nucleotide residues has an additional OH group present at the 2' position in the ribosomes. Now you know that about the DNA. Just to the talk about the DNA, which is the long length of the polymers of the polynucleotide chains, which are the number of nucleotides are the link with the help of the bond and then to form the long chain that is known as the polynucleotide chain. In RNA also the nucleotide is the present and residues has an additional OH group present at a 2' position in the ribosomes. Also in RNA, the nitrogen bases in the DNA and RNA, adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, is the nitrogen base in the DNA, and in replacement of the thymine, the uracil is present in the RNA. Now the RNA which are having the a single polynucleotide chain, but in case of the DNA has the double stranded polynucleotide chains and held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds. But in case of the RNA, the nitrogen bases adenine, guanine, thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracils is found at the place of the thymine. Now this thymine is not present in the RNA. In replacement of the thymine, the uracil is the present. 5-methyl uracil, another chemical name for the thymine. Now the question may be a construct for the neat examination. Another chemical name of the thymine, the chemical name of the thymine is the 5-methyl uracil. 5-methyl uracil is the another chemical name for the thymine, which is the present in the RNA. So RNA is the ribose sugar molecules which are having the ribose type of the sugar molecule. Phosphate group is also present, and nitrogen bases, that is the known as the purine and pyrimidine, adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracils. Now this DNA is an acidic substances present in the nucleus. DNA is an acidic substances present in the nucleus, was first identified by the Friedrich Miescher in 1869. Now you know that about the DNA is the nucleic acid type of the nucleic acid, and they have acidic properties. Acidic substances present in the nucleus, so was first identified by the Friedrich Miescher in 1869. What happens further in after they identified the acidic properties of the DNA? Now then he named it as a nuclein due to the presence of the acidic properties of the DNA in the nucleus, so that he named it as nuclein. However, due to a technical limitation in the isolating such a long polymer intact. However, due to the technical limitations in isolating such a long polymer intact, he named giving the nuclein. The elucidation of the structure of the DNA renamed elusive for every long period of times. Now in the after the identification of the acidic properties of the DNA giving the name of the nuclein, but there are having the technical limitations in the identification of the such isolating the substances present in the DNA. Now this RNA, which is the single stranded, and the single stranded RNA which are having the adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracils, these are the nitrogen bases are the present in the RNA. Now this RNA, when are forming the single strand of the polynucleotide chain, structure of polynucleotide chain in RNA, adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracil, there is not present the any type of the loops, or that is not a complementary base pairing is not occur in the RNA. Because of that, at a certain place when RNA are the fold twisted looping formation, in that particular loop there is only formation of the complement nitrogen base pairing, and these two strands are overlap in the certain place only. An overall RNA is not have the loops, but at a certain place that will be have only the loop formation, or that is known as the twisting formation, and in that twist or the loop there is a complementary base pairing is occur. Adenine, guanine, cytosine, uracils, these are the nitrogen bases of this RNA. Then this RNA also have the just you know that the sugar molecules, this sugar is the ribose type of the sugar molecule is present, and phosphate group is also present. So in the phosphate groups, then which is the attached to the carbon number 5th of the sugar molecules of the ribose, and the nitrogen base is the attached at the first carbon of the sugar molecules and to the form of the nucleotides. In this way, two successive nucleotides are the connect or the link with the help of the bonds, phosphodiester bonds, and then to form the long polymers of the polynucleotide chain of the RNA, which is the single stranded, one. So after this RNA is the polymers of the more and more nucleotides are the present in the chain of the polynucleotide chain of the RNA. Now this in 1869, when Friedrich Miescher, when are the two technological process to isolating the nucleus and to identify the chemical properties of the nucleus, and also the which is the present in present in the DNA. In 1869, now the Friedrich Miescher identify as the DNA as an acidic substances. DNA has the acidic properties. Due to the presence of the acidic properties, he give a name DNA as to the which is the present in the nucleus, that will be known as the nuclein. So in the nuclein there is a presence of the acidic properties nucleic acid, so that inside the cell there is a cell inside the cell nucleus is a present, and inside the nucleus chromosomes is a present, inside the chromosome DNA is present, and DNA inside the genes of the segment of the DNA. Now in the cell there is a have the cell, inside the cell nucleus is a present, inside the nucleus chromosome is a present. Chromosome is the highly packed structure of the long thread of the polynucleotide chains that will be goes to the coiling and supercoiling to the form the highly packed form of the DNA is the known as the chromosomes, that is superior coiling form of the chromosomes. Then to the inside the chromosome there is a DNA, and DNA is the deoxyribose nucleic acid, and the gene is the segment of the DNA, small part of DNA. Small part of DNA is the known as the genes. Small segment of the DNA is known as the genes which are having nowadays. There is a new name just to call the cistron, muton and recon. Cistron, muton and recon is the recent name of the genes according to their functions. Unit of mutation, unit of recombination, and unit of functions. There is having the number of nucleotide base, that is nucleotides, and this nucleotide which are having the nitrogen bases, and that inside the having the specific coding information to the essential for the synthesis of the protein molecules, for the synthesis of the amino acids. Amino acids is the synthesized as per the instruction of the genetic code, and this genetic code are having information in the code forms in the coded language, and that will be produce the amino acids, and these amino acids which are the form then to the produce and synthesize the protein, and this protein are the express the characters. In this way, in 1869 there is to identify the nuclein as the acidic properties of the DNA by the Friedrich Miescher. So after this nucleins, that will be goes to the further discussion regards to the then after the in 1953. It was only in 1953 that James Watson and Francis Crick, based on the X-rays, on the further study of the DNA, Watson and Crick in 1953. It was only in 1953 that James Watson and Francis Crick, based on the X-rays, to carried out the experiments to diffraction data produced by the Maurice Wilkins and the Rosalind Franklin, produce a very simple but a famous double helix model for the structure of the DNA. Now the Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin produce a very simple but a famous double helix model for the structure of the DNA after this 1953. Now this in 1953 Watson and Crick's model is a very famous model to produce to the develop on one of the hallmarks of their propositions was a base pairing between the two strands of the polynucleotide chains. One of the hallmarks of their propositions was base pairing. Now the base pairing between the two strands of polynucleotide chains, base pairing between the two strands of the DNA is a very specific one. These are the very complementary nitrogen base pairings in between the two strands of the polynucleotide chain. On one strand is a nucleotide which are having the nitrogen base is adenine, adenosine nucleotide. Then another strand that will be thymine nucleotides. This adenine and thymine nucleotide that will be having the complementary nitrogen base pairing, and the two strands are held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds. One of the hallmarks of their propositions has a base pairing. Now this base pairing is a very specific one. Thymine is a base pair, is a complementary base pair is with the adenine and not with the guanine or cytosines. And adenine is pair with the thymines, not with the guanine and cytosines. These are the hallmarks of their propositions. Was a base pairing between the two strands of the polynucleotide chains. So in the polynucleotide chain, two strands of the DNA which are having the complementary nitrogen base pairing, and these two strands are held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds. However, this propositions was also based on the observation of the Irvin's Chargaff, that for the double stranded DNA. Irvin Chargaff, that for the double stranded DNA. DNA is a double stranded. DNA is a double stranded because that in the DNA two polynucleotide chains are present, and in these two polynucleotide chains are run in opposite directions. In a parallel, that will be anti-parallel strands are present. That will be discussed in later on the Watson and Crick's model of the DNA. We have to discuss about in detail after the further discussion in the structure of the DNA. Now in the double stranded DNA, now this double stranded DNA, the ratio between the two strands, or that is the double strand of the DNA, the ratio between the adenine and thymine and guanine and cytosine are the constant and equals 1. One strand that will be having the 6 nitrogen base pair, and another strand which are having the 6 nitrogen base pair. But there is adenine and guanine, thymine, cytosine, these are the constant, their ratio is a constant. Adenine and thymine, guanine and cytosine. Number of adenine is equal to the number of thymines, and thymine is number of the thymine is equal to the number of adenine, and number of the guanine is equal to the number of the cytosine. That will be known as the ratio between the purine base and pyrimidine base. The ratio between the purine and pyrimidine base are the constant and equal. The for example, that will be discussed to the one strand of the DNA, which are having the two strands of the polynucleotide chains. In that polynucleotide chains, that will be held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds. That two strands having the total number of the adenine and total number of the thymine is equal. Total number of the guanine and total number of the cytosine are the equal and constants. That is known as the ratio is the 1:1. So in this, after the complementary nitrogen base pairing, then will be discussed to the double helix and the discovery of the DNA. Double helix DNA discovery by that James Watson and the another scientist, which is known as the Crick. This Crick is a well-known scientist in regards to the discovery of double helix DNA. Francis Crick and James Watson, these are the very well-known scientists, and then giving the name of the DNA, that is known as the Watson and Crick's model of the DNA. These both scientists is discovered, invention the structure of the DNA, double stranded DNA, and this invention of the structure of the double stranded DNA, which is the helix one, double helix, which are the coiled upon each other and twisted upon each others, and these are the invention by the Watson and Crick. After the discovery in 1953, both scientists are awarded the Nobel Prize for his contributions in the discovery and the invention of the double helix of the DNA. Regards to the double helix of the DNA, awarded the Nobel Prize in 1956. James Watson and Francis Crick's double helix DNA. These are the double helix DNA. That will be told about the double helix DNA. The two strands of the polynucleotide chains are held with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds, and then these are the double helix DNA molecules are invented by these two scientists, that is known as the Watson and Crick. It's a very well-known scientist in world. Then goes to the, after the further discovery about the double helix model for the structure of the DNA, then contribute the invention in the double helix model for the structure of the DNA. These another two scientists, that is known as the Rosalind Franklin, is also the contributes and the give inventions to the double helix model for the structure of the DNA. In this, another scientist in the contributes to the inventions and the to develop the double helix model for the structure of the DNA. That another scientist name is known as the Maurice Wilkins and Rosalind Franklin. These contribute their works, spend their times to inventions and discovery and the making to the double helix model for the structure of the DNA. Double helix structure of the DNA, that will be giving by these two scientists, that is Franklin, Rosalind Franklin and the Maurice Wilkins. These scientists, after this discussion about the double helix structure of the inventions and the discovery, now the what structure? A DNA double helix. Now in the double helix structure of the DNA double helix, you know that these are the two strands, hydrogen bonds, these are the two strand, parallel strand, anti-parallel strands are the present. One strand is the run in the 3 dash to the 5 dash directions, and another strand is run from this 5 dash to the 3 dash directions. Is the anti-parallel strands are the present, and these two strands of the polynucleotide chains are the held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bond and pairing formation, that is a nitrogen base pairings are the present. Adenine is paired with the thymine. This adenine is paired with the thymine with the help of the two weak hydrogen bonds, and guanine is paired with the cytosine, and cytosine is paired with the guanine with the help of the three weak hydrogen bonds. Thymine is always pairing with the adenine, and adenine is always paired with the thymine, that is known as the complementary nitrogen base pairing. And this complementary nitrogen base pairing is formed with the help of the two weak hydrogen bonds, and when in this between the cytosines, and cytosine is paired with the guanine and guanine is paired with the cytosine, in between them there is a three weak hydrogen bonds are the present. In this way a whole total two strands of the polynucleotide chains are the held together in anti-parallel directions, that will be to form the anti-parallel directions, then that will be to produce the complementary base pairings and held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bond at the time of the replication. That after the break the weak hydrogen bond and the two strands are the held together, that will be get separated from each other and to form the replication fork point. At the time of the replications, at the process of the replication in double helix structures of the DNA, these double helix structure of the DNA, these are the molecular structure of the DNA double helix, that will be a twist upon each others, folded upon each others, twisted upon each others, just like to the twist. One strand is the twist to the another strands, that will be present with the along with that. So these are the twisting double helix, that means which is the formation of the helix like structures. So called as the DNA is a double helix structure of the DNA. Then after the goes to the base pairing conform is a very unique property to the polynucleotide chains. Base pairing conform, a very unique property to the polynucleotide chains. In the polynucleotide chains there is a base pairing between adenine and guanine, and guanine is guanine is paired with the cytosine, and cytosine is paired with the guanine, and adenine is paired with the thymine, and thymine is paired with the adenine. Is a one strand having the adenine, that another strand there is a confirmed very unique property to the polynucleotide chains. One strand of the polynucleotide chain is known to the nucleotide, or that is known as the base pairs, that will be to conform to the another strands of the polynucleotide chain, that will be said to be base pairing. They are said to be the complementary to each others. They said to be the complementary to each others, and therefore if the sequence of bases, if the sequence of bases in one strand, sequence of the bases in one strand is known, then the sequence in other strand can be predicted. Now you know that I have already told about that the complementary to each other, adenine is complementary to the thymine, thymine is complementary to the adenine, that is known as the complementary base pairing. If the sequence of the bases in one strand, sequence of the bases in one strand is known, then the sequence in other strand can be predicted. Then the sequence in other strand can be predicted. Now this formation of the complementary base pairing, also if one strand from DNA, let's call it as a parental DNA, acts as a template for synthesis of new strands. and the two double stranded DNA, let's call them as a daughter DNA. When if each strand from DNA acts as a template for synthesis of the new strand at the time of the replication process, when the two strands are held together with the help of the weak hydrogen bond at the time of the replication, then the weak hydrogen bonds are break by the action of the enzymes, and then two strands get separated from each others, and then to the that separated strand of the DNA molecules acts as a template, that is also known as a parental DNA, ready for to the synthesis of the new strand, and the two double stranded DNA, let's call from them as a daughter DNA. Then after the in a parental DNA, that is a template DNA, and then to synthesize the another DNA over on that strand, that another strand, let's call them as a daughter DNA. Parental DNA is responsible to the synthesis of the new strand, that new strand are as known as the daughter DNA. Now these are the called as the daughter DNA, would be identical to the parental DNA molecules. New DNA strand are produced by the process of the replication over the parental DNA, and that new strand is known as a daughter DNA, would be identical to the parental DNA molecules, would be identical to their parental DNA molecule. Because of that, there is a synthesizing over the parental DNA. Parental DNA, now this will be produce a new strands, and this new strand is the producing. Now identical DNA to the produced by the parental DNA molecules. Because of this, genetic implications of the structure of the DNA become very clear. Produce would be identical to the parental DNA molecule because of these genetic implications of the structure. Genetic implication, because when new strands are produced or synthesized over the DNA parental strand, this DNA parental strands are synthesizing the daughter DNA, that will be copies of the genetic information. Copies of the genetic information that is present on the parental strand, that will be printed, that will be coded on the daughter strands. Genetic implications of the structure of the DNA become very clear when these are the copying of the genetic information in the form of the triplet codons, which is the present on the parental DNA strand, that will be copies over the daughter DNA. Copies over the daughter DNA, and that will be two forming identical to the parental DNA. Daughter DNA is to the identical to the parental DNA molecules, because copies of the genetic information which is present in a coded form, then this is the very clear to that of. Then after this, complementary nitrogen base pairings, after the in the process of the replications, formation of the new strands over the parental strands, these new strands is known as the daughter strands, and daughter strands are the identical one. Daughter strands is the identical one to that of the parental strand. Now in the double stranded chains, in the double stranded chain, there is a formation of the silent features of the double helix structure of the DNA. What are the silent features of the double helix structure of the DNA is very important to discuss regards to the examination of a NEET. In regards to the examination of NEET and point of view, so in the silent feature of the double helix structure of the DNA. Now the double helix structure of the DNA is proposed by the Watson and Crick in 1953. It is made up of the two polynucleotide chains, where the backbone is constituted by a sugar phosphate and the bases project inside. Now every DNA double helix structure of the DNA have a two polynucleotide chain, and where the backbone is constituted by a sugar phosphate bonds. The bases project inside. Now nitrogen bases are the present inside, that is adenine, guanine, thymine, cytosine, and these are the having a complementary nitrogen base pairing inside them. Bases project inside. The two chains have anti-parallel polarity. The two chains have a anti-parallel polarity. Now the two strands of the DNA, a polynucleotide chain, have an anti-parallel polarity. That will be having an anti-parallel polarity. It means if one chain has the polarity in 3' and 5' to the 3' end, and another strand, another chain of the polynucleotide chain has the 3' to the 5' end, and that is a parallel two strands. These strands are the parallel, but these strands also the anti-parallel strands. Anti-parallel polarity are the present. One strands are the run in the 5' to the 3' directions, and another strands are the run in the 3' to the 5' directions. This is known as the anti-parallel polarity in the double helix structures. Then the bases in two strands, are paired on the each polynucleotide chain, having the nitrogen bases on the nucleotides, because every and each polynucleotide chain is the made up of from the nucleotide, and each and nucleotide is the made up of from the sugar molecules, phosphate groups, and the nitrogen bases. On the basis of the presence of the nitrogen base, that will be giving a name to the nucleotides. The bases in two strands are paired with the hydrogen bond. Weak hydrogen bond, that is known as a particularly specifically weak hydrogen bonds, forming a base pairs. In the with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds, the base pairing is formed, forming a base pairs. Adenine forms two hydrogen bonds with thymine from opposite strand and vice versa. Adenine forms the two strands, two hydrogen bonds with thymine from opposite strands and vice versa. Similarly, in guanine is bonded with the cytosines. Guanine is bonded with the cytosine with the three weak hydrogen bonds. Now the bases in the two strands are the paired. Bases are the present, nitrogen bases are the paired with the another strand and forming the hydrogen bondings. So that these hydrogen bonding are the held the two polynucleotide chains, held together the polynucleotide chains. Two polynucleotide chains are the held with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds that will be forming by the purine and pyrimidine base. One strand having the purine base, the another strand having the pyrimidine base. You know that adenine guanine is a purine base, thymine cytosine is the pyrimidine base. Adenine base and the purine base, these are the one strand having the purine base, the another strand which are having the pyrimidine base, and adenine, purine and pyrimidine base are the forming the bonding, forming a bonding that will be with the help of the weak hydrogen bonds. So in the further silent features of the double helix of the DNA, as a result, always purine comes opposite to the pyrimidine. I have already told about that. As a result, always purine comes opposite to the pyrimidines. One strand having the purine and another strand of the polynucleotide chain are having the pyrimidines, and one another polynucleotide chain are having the purines. Purine comes opposite to the pyrimidine. This generate approximately uniform distance between the two strands of the helix. This generates one strand of the polynucleotide chain having a purine base and another strand of the polynucleotide chains which are opposite to the purines, that will be a pyrimidine. This generates approximately uniform distance. This generates the approximately uniform distance between the two strands of the double helix structure of the DNA. The two chains are coiled in a right-handed fashions. The two chains, the two polynucleotide chains, are coiled in a right-handed fashions, that will be coiled in a right-handed fashions. The pitch of the helix is the 3.4 nanometers. A nanometer in a 1 billionth of a meter, that is 10 raised to minus 9 meter, and there are roughly 10 base pair in each turn. In each turn there is a 10 base pairs are the present. Consequently, the distance between the base pair in a helix is approximately equal to the 0.34 nanometers. The two chains are the coiled in a right-handed fashions. The two chains are the coiling of the two strands in a right-handed fashions, and pitch of the helix is 3.4 nanometers, and there is a roughly have a 10 nitrogen base pair in each turn. 10 nitrogen base pair in each turn, and consequently the distance between the base pair in a helix, the distance between the base pair in a helix approximately equal to the 0.34 nanometers. These are the silent feature of the double helix structure of the DNA. Then the plan of one base pair stacks over the other in a double helix. This in addition to the H bonds confirm stability of the helix structure. The stability of the helix structure is due to the presence of the base pairs and also having the nitrogen base weak hydrogen bondings. Plan of one base pair stacks over the other in a double helix. One base pair is stacks over the other in a double helix. This in addition to the hydrogen bonds. Then goes to the formation of the new strands. Another compare the structure of the purine and pyrimidines. you find out why the distance between the two polynucleotide chain in DNA remains almost constant. Compare the structure of purine and pyrimidines. Can you find out why the distance between the two polynucleotide chains in DNA remains almost constant? Compare the structure of the purine and pyrimidine. The distance between the two polynucleotide chains is a constant. Because of that, there is a base pairing, is a fix, and distance between the 0. There is a having the constant 1. Propositions of the double helix structure of DNA, its simplicity in explaining the genetic implications become revolutionary very soon. Francis Crick proposed a central dogma in molecular biology, which states that the genetic information flows from the DNA, RNA and proteins. Now here Francis Crick proposed the central dogma in molecular biology. Francis Crick proposed the central dogma in molecular biology, which states that the genetic information flows, genetic information which is the flows from DNA to RNA, RNA to the proteins. So in this way genetic informations is that will be a flow from RNA to DNA to RNA, RNA to proteins. In this way there is a formation of these such type of the information goes to the protein formation. So in the RBC online by Dattatreya Raut, if you like the videos, to subscribe my channels, like my videos and share to my videos and links and also my channels to your friends. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.